Welcome to Jakarta in Indonesia. France and Iran will play in this Group P game on game day 4. Classification places from 17 to 32 in this World Cup, and no one expected France to be playing today. The opponents they face, Iran, will be introduced first. I'm Mark Clark, and with me Shona Thorborn, and this Iranian team, obviously they're going to be really affected by Haddadi not playing, but again, it's this transitional team that at times have shown that this is a team that has a future for Iran.
Exactly. I mean, this is one of the youngest teams in this competition, and yeah, no Haddadi, no Iran, great, but other people then are going to have to step up, and I also think it's an opportunity to see where some of these younger players are and how they can match up against a talented French team who are playing in uncharted waters. Obviously, this is not where they thought they would be playing right now, but you know what? It's an opportunity to go out against one of the best teams in the world, one of the best ranked teams in the world, the bronze medalist from FIBA World Cup 2019, silver medalist from the Tokyo Olympics. See how good you are and maybe see where you need to improve even without Haddadi.
Well, you just don't get enough opportunities to play against the best. So, as you rightly say, this is an opportunity that you'd expect Coach Demir to really be pushing that point to his team. To make matters worse, if that's the right way to word it, France get back to almost a full roster. Rudy Gobert and Mustafa Fall are in uniforms today after recovering from those injuries that kept them out of their last game. And the one thing I'd say before I hand over to you is that Nicolas Batum has almost taken it upon himself to make this team look at himself, and they really did look at themselves and come up with a performance last time.
Yeah, they did. And it was tough for them to bounce back after that loss to Latvia, knowing that then they were going to be out of continuing in this tournament as far as, you know, the second round of group games go. And I agree with you, Nicolas Batum was a big reason they got that win over Lebanon. It was an ugly win, 85-79. They didn't play well at times. They played well when they needed to at the end of the game. Yeah, they were only playing with 9 players. Today they will have 11 suited up. I thought you saw the veteran leadership, what a captain should do. He was the first person running, picking up his teammates if they fell. He was trying to encourage them. He was trying to get them up for the game, because you could tell that, unfortunately, they didn't really want to play in it. They got the win. I think to go out on a high note, win 2 more games in this tournament could be a positive to what's been a difficult and a disappointing tournament.
Well, here's the schedule for this classification group. Lebanon got the 94-84 win over Côte d'Ivoire. That could be really crucial for them. France and Iran will face off here. 8:30 local time is the tip time. The young children are coming out for the introduction, the end of the introductions and the playing of the national anthems, as we get a look at the table after those early game. France and Iran now face off the last game in Group P of day 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able, we now invite you to stand for the national anthems. We begin with the anthem of Iran. Thank you. Please remain standing for the national anthem of France. Thank you very much.
Well, players, coaches will exchange the mementos of this game at the half court. We're going to get a chance to look at the third team on the floor, the three officials, in a moment. Anthems and mementos of games such just really underline what national team basketball is all about, especially at a World Cup. Here's the third team on the floor. Today's officials with Alexander Glizic, Andrzej Bartel, and Yevgeny Mikheyev take charge of this evening's game. A little bit of unison there on the folding of the arms of the officials for their team picture. It's been a tough World Cup so far for Iran, though. They came close to that win, getting that win over the Côte d'Ivoire. But as they said right at the beginning, it's about transition and building.
Yeah, you said it. They're 0-3 heading into this game, but they definitely have some bright spots, and I think they have a bright future. And I think some of these young players have learned a lot heading into this game already, and what it takes to compete and where they have to improve individually, where they have to improve as a team moving forward, as well as we take a couple look at the starting five for Iran. I mean, he's definitely a bright spot. Yakchili, he was cold the other night, but he's had a very, very good tournament. I think a player like Hassan Ali Kabari has a great opportunity to go up against one of the best defenders in the world, in Rudy Gobert, and see, you know, where he's at in his game as well. Yeah, he's already 27, but you can't say enough about Mohamed Amini, the youngin. He had 19 points against Spain, 7-12 from shooting to go along with 3 rebounds. He's only 18, and you can imagine that he is only going to improve as he ages as well. And I mentioned it earlier, Yakchali, I thought he's had a really, really nice tournament for them. Overall, just under 13 points, just under 4 assists, and 3 rebounds a game. Things will be a little bit different for Coach Hakan Demir, not having Haddadi. And it's not just, you know, that veteran leadership when he's on the court. Gosh, he makes their offense, especially their offense, so much better with his vision, his passing ability, and then you also see him encouraging guys, talking to guys, continually trying to make them better.
Well, they're going to go up against this French lineup that a lot of people thought would be potential winners of the whole thing, but Canada and then Latvia in just one of the games of the World Cup eliminated them from the top 16. Obviously for them, though, they're not under the same pressure as everybody else when it comes to Olympic qualification, as they will host next year. And basically they still go with a lineup similar to what they started the tournament with. They just inserted Zaya Cordiner into that lineup.
Yeah, I mean, Yabusele's had a great tournament for them. Fournier, always can count on him. DeColo, you see Rudy Gobert back in the lineup. We talked about it. Fournier, I mean, 21.7 points a game, shooting 67%. He had a huge game, huge first half against Canada and went cold. And they're missing some other scorers to step up, in my opinion, this French team. And, you know, this was a team that people thought were going to finish on the podium. Yabusele, definitely a bright spot. And I think he's going to have a very, very long future with this French national team. You saw 18 points against Lebanon. In the games that they lost, especially against Latvia, France, I thought that, you know, Collet and company, they went away from Yabusele. It worked in the third quarter, and then they just stopped going to him. Yeah, Latvia hadn't stopped them. They stopped themselves.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because we were sitting there going, when is he going to post up? When is he going to go to that block on the left-hand side of the floor? He was just not necessarily just him, but the attention that he drew created opportunities for everybody else. And it's like a number of things that have left France in this position. It just was very un-France-like.
Yes.
You know, and it's everybody's going to have a setback. And the great thing for me is the way that one of the players, as in Nicolas Batum, really took it on himself to express how I assume he felt, the whole of France felt. You know, everyone has to take a look at themselves from federation down, and they've got a year to get it right, and then they'll be able to perform at home in an Olympics where it's the biggest thing of any player's life to play in the Olympics, but the home Olympics is just a phenomenon.
You said it, I mean, to be able to play at home in an Olympics, you have to be ready. And I think this French team, they have a lot of looking in the mirror to do. Like Nicolas Batum said, it starts from the players to the coaches to the staff to the federation, everyone around. If they want to get better and if they want to be ready, they've got about 12 months to get ready for a home Olympics. And you would imagine, I know their ranking's going to drop. There you saw that statistic pop up. Their ranking's going to drop internationally, the FIBA World Ranking, but they have to be a medal hopeful heading into your own Olympics. But after this performance, gosh, some people must be shaking in their boots.
Well, the Tissot countdown to tip-off. We're 1 minute away as France play at a level in this competition, as the graphic said, that they haven't played in since 1986. That is a long time ago. Just let that one sink in a little bit.
Yeah, 1986.
Wow.
So none of these players were even, I'm not sure any of them, Batum was.
Just. Only just.
Only, so he wasn't watching basketball yet, that's for sure. So, you know, I mentioned it, I think they have just played poorly, and Coach Collet said it's been a nightmare. I don't think they really know why they weren't prepared for this heading into this tournament. Yeah, you could say they're missing some people from that Eurobasket team, from the team they had back in 2019, but I don't think that's an excuse.
Well, welcome to Jakarta. Iran in the red uniform, France in the white. And France, well, let's just say it's not quite a road to redemption, but they want to keep moving back in the right direction. And what an opportunity for Iran against one of the world's best. Fournier will come off the high screen, looks to turn the corner, lift by Yabusele, looks inside. Ali Akbari's getting an education under there. Yabusele is long, and Iran do a nice job boxing out. And they will get into the half court. Girogoran moves it on. Amini, one of the brightest sparks, not just of the Iran team, but of this World Cup in terms of young players coming to the fore. The three is no good. Gobert will clean up the mess, and De Colo will advance the basketball. Gobert's gonna go dribble handoff, I think. Cornier has it. In the air, but gets it to De Colo. Feet set for three, way off. Chance in transitions here as Kazemi pulls down the rebound. Chetty comes off the screen, moves it on. Kazemi will reverse it. Gorin turns the corner, goes inside and kicks it. Open for three is long. Wide open look. Yakchali couldn't drop it. Yabusele, this area, he's normally he's effective and productive.
Go to work.
Fournier gets his feet set. Can't get it to go. A lot of standing still by France on that offense. De Colo recovers it. Gobert will screen and roll. Fournier attacks the baseline. Reverse layup is good for two.
You saw Yabusele, he had it in his sweet spot, and I don't know why he didn't just try and go to work instead of, like you said, not a lot of movement on that last possession. They end up getting first 2 points of the basket on that Fournier drive, though.
Ball goes out of bounds, will stay with Iran. Ali Akbari's minutes have gone up as this tournament has gone on. Obviously today he's going to have to play extended minutes. They have to go long out of bounds, just about evade the defense. 4 on the possession. Chelly steps back, takes the tough three, doesn't get it to go. Yabusele will clean up, and De Colo will advance it. Fournier in transition. Tries to turn the corner. Amini just takes it off him. And he's blocked, but he still finishes the play. Well, there was a lifetime of education in that play. But hopefully for Amini, he'll get more time in Pro A in France next season. He's literally played age group basketball, but he pushes, fearless, needs a pass, just throws it to Gorbert. Here Yabusele in transition is fouled by Yachali, and I'm not sure he needed to foul him. It almost got back and had control of it as we get the replay of Amini. And there's the block, and it just dribbled in off the backboard. Gorbert just made a huge hole. That's a little bit like man and boy.
That's what I mean. I think it's a fun opportunity, you know,
Ali Akbar
win or lose going up against Rudy Gobert, defending Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Ali Akbar just didn't realize, wasn't ready. Rudy Gobert was. Amini, 4 on the possessions, gonna have to put this up, takes the tough one, it's blocked. Gobert just waited for him. Fournier, feet set for 3, is off. Gobert runs the floor and gets the offensive board and the putback.
We saw that Gobert didn't play in their last game for France, which was against Lebanon, played against Canada and Latvia. He has had a very, very quiet tournament.
Yeah, underused
or
quiet.
Or quiet. So I like this. I like that he's come out aggressive.
Charlie stops. They get the tough one from the corner, and they're struggling to get anything around. And he stops in the lane, doesn't get it to go. Poor decision.
No rebounders.
Wasn't aggressive, just settled for a nice read. Charlie looks inside. Ali Akbari's got it. Sorry, Kazemi had it. Again, they're deep on the clock. Kazemi goes to work, goes to the baseline side, is blocked.
Oh, there's a reason why he's a 3-time NBA Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert.
We might have to get the rebound, the block shot records out for this one. Foul on the play. Because if they continue to go that week, he's going to have a field day. It'll just come down to how many minutes he plays. See, there are certain things for me that Iran are up against a great team, are up against a more experienced team, and the talent level there's a difference. But you can't get outworked, and killing the clock is all very well, but you've got to get to a point of what are you going to run at the end of the clock? How are you going to try and get a shot? Don't just bear it down, because Gorbert's just going to wait and block shots. Fournier makes the first. At some point, you know, they've got to, this is what we do, this is how we play, this is what I'm brought to the national team for, and do those things. Guigurin will advance the basketball, feels the double team, needs a pass. Throws it, it was deflected to the backcourt, no it wasn't. And all those fundamental things that people say, don't pick the ball up just as you go over the halfway line. It's all very well, but when the defense is that good at forcing you to an area.
Whoever Nando De Colo was guarding has to be aware that his player went and trapped, and you got to come to the ball and be that safety pass for him.
Meaning not backing down here defensively. Yabusele. Get it to De Colo, comes off the screen, looks to turn the corner. Now he needs a pass in the corner. Cordial fumbled, I think he was going to go up. And that's the 24-second violation. If he hadn't fumbled it, he would have gone up in the corner for the 3, but France with a shot clock violation. Guigurin into the half court. Amini. They go post entry on it. Akameri goes up, doesn't get the drop. Gets the offensive rebound though. Ball fakes, tries to step through, is going to come out. Amini, deep in the corner, goes back inside. The ball fake, he was fouled on the way up, on the reach. And why would you want to reach when Rudy Gobert is there waiting to block the shot. Great effort though. Jalal Aghameri. Aghameri was, again, he's going to get extended minutes. You know, there's two ways to look at the issue of Edadi not playing. One obviously is the miss of a living legend, but it's playing time for guys that really need the experience. Second one is good. Jalal Aghameri. Love the way Amini's going at it defensively. He really is putting in a physical effort.
It's also a fun opportunity for him because you know that everyone from AS Monaco is watching this game, and there are a few, you know, French players who play in the French league and the Pro A back in France, and I'm sure he wants to go up against them and prove to them, like, hey, maybe I'm ready for my chance to get a few minutes here and there with the professional team next season. And again, I think, you know, not just for Amini, but for a lot of these Iranian players, I think it's an opportunity.
It's one of those moments where he says, you don't need to bring another signing in. It's my time. Goes and reverses the basketball. Amini on the three-point line. Needs a pass. Down at 4 seconds again. They're going to have to put up a prayer. Yachali just about beats the buzzer. And again, it's all very well trying to kill the clock, but you've got to have something to go to. Yabusele can't handle the full-court pass.
That was a difficult pass to catch.
Wow,
I mean, he was posting up on his sweet spot, and from the other end of the court, inside the three-point line almost, DeColo just throws him the ball. And we can talk about this French team. I said I thought Rudy Gobert has been quiet. I mean, Nando DeColo obviously hasn't had a tournament like we have seen him have in the past for France.
Well, also for them, you know, players like Akobo who haven't played a lot of minutes, opportunity to get into games, 2 games to go. You don't get many opportunities in that national team environment to say, I belong. So no such thing as like a dead, not so much a dead game, but a meaningless game. No such thing as an easy game in a national team environment. 8-3, France lead it, 3:20 remains in quarter one. Just think they're going to have to put shots up a little earlier. Diagoran, with no time on the clock, fumbles it, puts up the tough three at the end of the clock. Whistle on the play, and Yabusele will pick up the personal. More than understand Hakan Demir saying we're going to take some time out of this game, make it shorter.
Yeah.
But how does he want to try and get advantage deeper in the clock? End line possession, new full team. Amini will come off the screen. France don't really deny the pass. Yachali out top. Diagoran. Yachali with a quick first step, kicks it. The open three is good. Aghameri knocks down the three. Ball still didn't go below the foul line extended at all. But his feet was set. Wasn't rushed. Foul on the play. Goran will sit. He's going to be... Mashayeki checks in for him. You hope Mashayeki plays quick, plays it when he looks good. He's playing quickly, making quick decisions. When he slows down, his size becomes a real disadvantage for him. DeColo moves off the pass, goes baseline, off the first step, is blocked. Rizari with the block, and Iran will pull it out again. Chance to lead on this possession. Extra pass. Sheki with the three is good.
And we didn't see that, but you saw Yachali tell him, hey, you got to shoot the first one. Why did you even give it to me in the corner? Don't hesitate.
He's probably going, well, coach has told me to take time off the clock. And wow,
they take much more off.
They can't take much more off than they have. Akobo needs a pass, finds on Yabusele, feet set from the three-point line. He's no good. Mustafa Fall announces himself in the game. Akobo with the attempt at the three is no good. And Iran in transition. Sayeki will bring it out. It's also difficult if you are the French now, if Iran keep taking time out of the clock to get any rhythm offensively. Especially if they really control the defensive boards. Achali for three is no good. Yabusele and Dikolo combine to secure the defensive board. Okobo needs a pass. Mustafa Fall saves the turnover, gets it to Dikolo, steps back, needs a pass though. Dikolo wanted the foul on the pass before. Batum will check in, as will Sylvian Francisco for Dikolo. So France have replaced the starting lineup with 112 remaining in the first quarter. Mini sits, he's replaced by Agajampor. Agajampor is another one of this young crop of Iranian players, only 22 years old. But 9 of this lineup all still play in Iran, and you've got to think sometimes that they may have to look at alternative options.
I do definitely think one of the bright spots for this French team has been the play of Terry Tarpe, as he almost just got beat there, but the energy.
Wow, back-to-back threes for Sayeki, and he's keeping his team ticking over. Has the three-point lead. He has half the points. Batum looks deep inside. Mustafa Fall just goes, brings it down, and the referee gives him a little bit of help on that one. Really don't understand why he thinks he has to put the ball on the floor.
No.
He's right at the charge circle.
Just turn around, use that baby hook, keep the ball above your shoulders.
Well, not for 1 minute are we suggesting that Iran are on the verge of an upset, but 33 seconds to go. They have the three-point lead in quarter one. Very low scoring, slow tempo. So, compared to every other game, so slow by comparison, so slow in terms of points.
I think this is in favor of Iran, though. If they're going to play at this pace, this is what Iran wants to do. They want to, you heard, they want to use a lot of the clock. They want to use a lot of possession. They want to make France have to defend multiple actions in an offensive set.
Trying to reduce the number of shot attempts. That one doesn't for Francisco, pushes. Gets to the foul line, has to back it out, doesn't like his options, still keeps the ball though. Steps back, top of the D is short. No one else in a white uniform touched the ball throughout that whole offense. But that'll do it for the end of the first quarter. And after a struggling start, Iran lead this 12-9 over France here in Jakarta.
Well, there are the statistics. Neither team shooting very well. France 0 for 5 from three-point range. I mean, it's an ugly game. I don't know what to say about those statistics. That's why it's 9-12. It's been a slow game as far as possessions go and shots opportunity, because Iran are really, really slowing the game down. And they don't want France to get a lot of touches, and they've done a good job. France have only shot 13 times in this quarter. That's very, very low.
And it's 13 times, but you don't see France then trying to increase the tempo with the defense. When they've tried to go early, they've gone early on bad looks. So at some point, they're going to snap out of this. At some point, they're going to go on a run. That would be the normal. But as long as it stays like this, all of a sudden Iran will start to believe they're in a game.
I mean, I think, in my opinion, for them to get going, France, Nicolas Batum, he didn't play a lot of minutes. He checked in at the end of that first quarter. He's on the court now, and we'll start this second quarter. He's got to get his players going, and I think, you know, you have a Sylvain Francisco on the floor, you have Terry Tarpe, you have Batum, you have a Kopo. Go ahead, run, get out and run right now.
Yep. Well, there's the Courtside 1891 app. If you can get it from your normal source, the App Store or wherever you get your apps from, every piece of information on international basketball, including everything you need to know about this World Cup, is on there. Enjoy yourself with that application. Start of this second quarter, Iran with the three-point lead and possession. And France look like they're in the passing lane more. Drops it inside. It goes up with the left hand and gets the nice finish, Mirazahi. He's literally what it says on the tin. 4 feet and in, does a good job.
You know, I think maybe they're resting Haddadi tonight, knowing that maybe their most important game will be against Lebanon coming up on the 2nd of September.
Yeah. Sylvain Francisco.
But right now, imagine you can get a win over France, and then you get to go into that game with already one win. I mean, the Olympic qualification spots, they're wide open right now.
Yep. The tough three is short. Miyazaki steps on the line. Miyazaki getting after Sylvain Francisco a little bit. Francisco penetrates, drops it inside. Mustafa Fall will flush that one for two. Well, Francisco has been nothing but direct since he's been in the start of this second quarter. Oh, nice little pass for the easy two. Mirazahi gets the two, but Miri just composure. Hung on to it. Francisco again goes to the corner. Batum, feet set. The three is short. Work on the glass by Tapi. San Francisco outside, gets a new 14, down at 8 already. Steps out of bounds. Never takes long for Terry Tarpe to get a positive stat. Does he gets on the offensive glass, he'll come up with something.
I mean, you and I have been very impressed here in Jakarta by a lot of players who have stepped up. Cedric Ba from the Côte d'Ivoire. And also Terry Tarpe, in my opinion, is that kind of a player. He's a great player to just have on your team. You know he will run through a wall for this team.
And again, Maizam Mirazahi continues to just play 8-10 feet and in. Gets up strong. He's gonna go to the free throw line as we get a replay of Mustafa Fall flushing that one. Just love the way Mirazahi just does, all he tries to do is what he can do. Chance to re-establish the three-point lead for Iran. And the longer they keep edging the lead, as long as they hang around, the more France will potentially get a little edgy. Francesco comes off the screen, gets a reposition, weaves some magic, and then he's fouled, gets the roll. We'll go to the free throw line to make this a 1-point game, to make this a tied game.
And just nice read, but it was also a good job there by Mustafa Fall, the big man, to keep his defender away, so Francisco could turn the corner and get closer to the basket.
Francisco always looking to score. So Iran can start to rotate back in that starting lineup. Guran checks back in, as does Amini. And Agajampor will sit. France show some full-court pressure. Amini reads it, does a good job at hesitating, making Francisco make a decision. Takes the ball screen on the sideline, gets a little separation, shoots it over Mustafa Fall, doesn't get the roll. Mirzahi doesn't get the rebound. And Okubo just throws it against him, retains possession for France. Chance for France to re-establish the lead. They led early, but for most of that first quarter, Iran just edged it. Francisco again puts it on the floor, looks to challenge the defense. Extra pass to the corner, Koba goes on the first step, shows the little head and shoulder fake, gets the finish right at the bottom of the shot clock. Ground port. Yeah, Goran struggles, gets rid of it, they turn it over, but they'll re-establish possession. Only 10 seconds remain on the clock.
Nice hands, nice defensive pressure. You see France, they're picking up a little bit stronger coming out in the second quarter.
It's a better way to beat the pressure. The long two is no good for Mazahi. Bottom of the clock again for Iran. Francisco goes inside. Mustafa Fall, nice pass. Beautiful little give and go action to the block. And Francesco wants to score.
Yeah, he does. As you said, not a lot of shots that he passes up, that's for sure. But I think attacking the basket, that's good offense for France right now. It's just his energy that he's come in with.
Reaching foul on Terry Tarpe. Goran will inbound the basketball. Iran, well, they've got to get it in first, but they really do just have to keep it ticking over. The tough two is flat and short. Francisco, who's really quick, gives it up to Batum in transition. Iran do a nice job at getting back. They're going to try and zone that ball screen. Fall in the post, goes to the middle now. Gets it off to Batum, little floater is no good. Tarpe again, just always on the move. He's such a tough box out. Kobo deep in the corner for three. Timeout, Iran. Hakan Demir says, now we need to talk about this before it gets a little bit out of control. 24-17 with 5.5 to go in the first half. And Kobo makes the three. Iran take the timeout.
A great start to the second quarter with this 5 that France has on the court as they have jumped out to a 15-5 lead. Let's try and listen in and see what Coach Demar wants to change.
If you cannot play PML, sit here. You have to deserve this shot on defense, no layup, no backdoor. First ball, play 5 times, hands up. First ball, and pass ball.
Well, everything's got a little quicker since Francesco got into the game. Wants to score, wants to get things moving a little quicker for France. Nice little give and go with Mustafa Fall into the post. And really has injected some tempo, both ends of the floor. Goran, much more definite that time with the basketball. Zahi tries to back in on Fall, inside out. Goran's got to be ready to shoot the ball, comes off the screen. is off. Great rebound. Charlie, who continues to impress. Charlie in the corner, gets his feet set from the three-point line, is good. And they really needed to tick it over.
They've fallen back into a little 2-3 zone now to maybe try and stop all the penetration by Francisco.
Well, he turns the corner, gets the elbow, kicks it. Kobo just killed the ball by putting it on the floor. Ends up with a tough step back for two, which is good. And Batum looks at Cole on the bench and says, what was that? They really had good ball movement and sharp ball movement, and it just stuck with him. He had to make a tough one. Batum just really leadership in words and by example. Tarpe will sit. Yakuba Quatala checks in. Amini needs a pass, he's found one. Kazemi just about holds on. Charlie gets his feet set for three, doesn't get the back-to-backs. Kobo pushes. Tries to go deep. Francisco just blows past, super pass of it. Quattro gets it off. Batum wide open mid-range, doesn't get it to go.
Batum has, that's another player. Didn't look to shoot a lot in that Canada game. He was more aggressive against Latvia, open looks, but the ball's just not falling for a lot of these French players in this tournament.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know why.
The mid-range two is good. And that'll be there for Mirazahi, because Fall struggles to get his feet outside the keyway defensively. Iran hanging around here, staying close, 26-22. Qatar in the corner, attacks it and kicks the extra pass. Okobo for three. When the ball doesn't stick, they still look a super team. Kazemi needs a pass. Amini, lane opens up. Foul fills the drive lane. Charlie with 6 on the possession, comes off the ball screen. Drops it inside. Foul's called. I think the French want to travel.
It was definitely a foul.
It's definitely a foul, yeah, absolutely. All I can say is no different to a number of
Yes.
a number of travels that haven't been called. It looked a little like a travel. The third step's a bit of a giveaway. But Mirazahi, again, is putting in his shift. It looks like that Ali Akbari is going to rejoin the game with 2:46 to go, which normally means he's going to check in for Sam Mirazahi. Nice. He's just really contributed. 2 for 2 from the line. 9 points personal for him. And as we've said in a number of games, when your star player or one of your players has to sit down, everyone has to take up a little bit of the stack, and Mirazahi's definitely doing that. 5-point game. Tara going baseline. Tries to get an angle. Nice finish. Super finish. Gets his shoulders square to the glass. Good athlete. Yeah, going again. Seems to have begun to be a much more positive. Drops it inside. Alec Barry just has it taken off. Why bounce it by his ankles? Yabusele gives it up. Flushed hard. Timeout, Iran. Kobo with some serious hops, throws it down hard. And Yabusele turns provider with 2:01 to go in the first quarter. And we'd have expected to see a little bit more of this from France.
Yeah.
But they've opened it out to a 9-point game with 2:01 to go, and Iran need to tick it over going into the half. Let's take a listen to Hakan Demir.
Push outside. People make pressure, just Peter, you take the ball, Beynam, screen to Amini. Beynam, if open, bring the ball, okay? Whoever brings the ball, he will play outside Amini. Amini come quick, set the screen, watch here to corner here, if position. If Amini,
You know, I know France has come out. They've had a really good second quarter, 24 points already. There's still 2 minutes left, but they're only trailing by 9. The most important thing right now is in these 2 minutes left before halftime, how can you not let France run away with the game right now? Because 2 minutes, I mean, that's easy for France to score 10+ points in 2 minutes and stop Iran on the other end defensively. Can you at least keep this game in the double-digit marks?
Well, Collet comes back after the timeout with Rudy Gobert and Yabusele in the lineup, so he goes as experienced and as athletic as he can with real quickness at the guard spot. Iran just need, as you do after any timeout, you want to get something that your coach has asked you to get in that timeout. They just have to be aware against the 1-2, 1-1 trap. So he goes long and gets it back.
This is very much a defensive lineup team for France as well.
Amini moves it on. Amini had the opportunity to go off the outside of that zone, takes the handoff, takes a really tough one late. Kobo puts it on the floor. Do a reasonable job getting back, Iran. Do not give up the easy option. So Francisco tries to turn the corner, drops it to Yabusele, and one. He's just too strong, too big. Powers his way, bullies his way to the hoop. And Ali Akbari sort of bounced off it.
Yeah. he did bounce off, and it just shows you how strong Yabusele is. Kept his composure, avoided getting blocked also on the foul, and was able to finish and make, well, not able to turn it into a three-point play, though.
Got to keep the scoreboard ticking over going into the half. Masieki has it, moves it on. Yachali again, he keeps impressing for Iran. They can't stick the ball. Shiki needs a pass, wraps it to the high post, takes the handoff, fumbles a little bit. Goes up with a little bit of a prayer, great rebound. I didn't think that hit a lot.
I didn't think it hit a lot either, but they reset the shot clock. I think the three will count. Can they look at this?
Yeah, they can. If they didn't set the clock correctly, then they can go back and see if it happened within the time frame. Yeah, there was no, because it was so deep, because the rebound off the really poor shot.
Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, that didn't hit anything and clearly should not have been reset.
So Marshayeki will sit and Guran will check back in. Got to hang on to France in this last minute. Francisco. Yabusele. And as you keep saying, this is where Yabusele goes to work. That area of the floor is just so tough to guard. Because he tries to hold his space.
Well, he held his space that time and threw an offensive foul, so not much more you can really do. I think it's a good job taking it right at the face and right at the chest. Not sure it's a real offensive foul, as what else are you supposed to do offensively?
Yeah, I suppose I'm with you 100%. I suppose the referee He could have gone up just that little bit sooner before the space closed. But then who closed that space? Vahedi in the game for the first time. Yakshali gets his feet set, towed the line, I think, drops out, they're giving him 3. And Vincent Collet will take timeout with 15.5 seconds remaining, as Iran have closed it to an 8-point game.
Well, obviously, Coach Collet has a timeout to use, and there's 15.5 left in the half. May as well use it and write up a possession here for his team to get a good look at the basket.
Soit pour Elie, soit pour toi, comme vous voulez, peu importe. Très vite, et on essaye d'attaquer. Si c'est pour Elie de ce côté-là, si c'est pour toi, comme ça, d'accord? Et on essaye d'attaquer le fond. C'est l'un ou l'autre, de toute façon, peut-être derrière. Si Sylvain attrape et vient là, Elie, tu viens complètement derrière, d'accord? Et Gershon, là, tu restes là, dans la ligne de fond. Alors, on a, dans tous les cas de figure,
well, your French is far better than mine. So does he want Yabusele to get it? Because he mentioned him a number of times.
Yeah, but he wants him to attack the basket, not settle.
So Iran have managed with 15.5 seconds to go to get it back to single digits. One more stop and they'll go into the locker room feeling good about that.
Yeah, exactly. You can go in down 8 to France, still 20 minutes to play, and I wouldn't say this is the best half of basketball that Iran has played in this World Cup.
They had 2 fouls to give as well. Expect them to use both of those. And there's one of those fouls. They're going to wipe that off if it had gone in. And now there's only 3.3 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was a good foul.
Yeah,
they let them play long and didn't foul on the shot, but now only 3.3 seconds.
And they still have one more to give if they need it.
Collet does have another timeout that he will lose moving over to the second half if he wanted to draw something up.
So 3.3 to go, end of the half. Francisco will come high. They deny that. They're going to have to go long. Stolen, knocked away. Got a chance to get this away from the halfway line. And France struggle again with an end of game or an end of half in terms of their execution. Great start by Iran, but France with a real injection of intensity have the lead at the half, 35-27 over Iran.
Well, Iran, they have to be a little bit more happy with how they played in that second quarter. France shooting the ball a little bit better. You know, it was an ugly first quarter for both of those teams. As you see the top scorers, I thought Okobo came out with a mission today for France. And, you know, Iran, 27 points. I mentioned it just before that last possession. I don't think this is the prettiest that we've seen Iran play. It's definitely not the best basketball that we have seen France play either. You know, if you're Iran, you're going into half and you're only down 8. You've only scored 27 points. It's not a lot of points. You have to think that you're going to play better. But at the same time, I also can't imagine France coming out and playing like they did, especially not in that first half. First quarter, they only scored 9 points in a quarter, 26 in that second quarter. It's just, right now, it seems to me France are playing a little unmotivated basketball, as we see Yabusele hasn't had a lot of touches. I mean, he's shot the ball twice.
Yeah. And it worries me for France because he was so productive, and surely they want to, not necessarily just shots for him, but points where the ball goes through him, and he was really good at that.
Yeah, really, really good at that. You know, yeah, their guard play has been a little bit better. I talked about Okobo, and let's not forget Francisco. He's been aggressive. There he is right there, passing the ball. I think everywhere France can play a lot more aggressive. I think that they can do a lot more, and I think it needs to start defensively. They haven't done a bad job, but once they get a stop, I think they need to get out and run. They're too talented, they're too quick, they're too athletic to be playing at this kind of a pace.
I mean, here's a question for you, because I agree with you 100%. They've got a lot of talent, a lot of speed down the floor, but they never want to seem to play at that tempo. It becomes a little bit very half-court orientated.
Again, ever since that loss to Latvia, though, on game day 2 for France, we haven't seen a very motivated French team. And unfortunately, you know, this is now the second game where there has not been a lot of motivation, and I think it's rubbing off. You see Batum, he's trying, he's high-fiving, he's telling his teammates, allez, let's go. And I don't know what else can motivate you if you're France right now, other than, hey, you know what, you're still representing your country at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. We still need to get ready and now start preparing, you know, and figuring out what, don't you want to make the team next year? So get out there and play hard and prove to coach, hey, you need to take me next year as well.
Well, the one thing for sure is that Vincent Collet will be there next year. He's already, that's confirmed. But let's see if they can turn it around in the second half. We're going to take a break now. We'll see you shortly for the second half of France-Iran.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are all a same team.
We have the power to change lives through basketball.
Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin,
basketball
can bring everyone together.
Basketball for good.
Down low, high slope, top gets rejected. Well, Wenya Gabriel with the rim protection.
Almeida. And the pass knocked away this time. Doncic with the steal. Kick out. The finish. Prepelic. Bine Prepelic there. There's 2 Prepelices on the floor. They're cousins.
Turnover waiting to happen, but guess who's picked it up?
It's a better look for China. It's a wide open look from the perimeter. Puts it right between the legs again. Oh, baby! That is officially buenas noches. And coach, that's put a smile out of you. Let me tell you something right now. The magician. Well, watch the nutmeg. You missed the nutmeg. Finds Romero.
He goes walk up again. Hands it off to Antetokounmpo for the jump. Great awareness from walk up.
Holmes trying to stay in front of Doncic. He's spinning. Fade away on the left. Glass helps him out. Doncic now with 19.
95% of that, Dom's did a really good job.
The power's going to have to put it up from the logo and knocks it down.
I'm not sure that was what coach drew up, but it doesn't matter anyway. It's just fine to see him say, whoo.
Tavares right into Doncic's hands. Doncic, Euro, extra pass, Summer. Doncic to Summer.
Nice read, wasn't it? He knew he had the 2 in front.
Luka Doncic looks slightly perturbed.
He is, and clearly he's not happy with his form. 1 of 9 from the field.
You can look at his numbers there. 12 points, and now Banchero for the throwdown.
Well, they went to that middle isolation for him, and he went to work. Nice spin and dunk.
And that was a telegraph pass. Look at the behind the back pass. Oh, goodness. Soaring through the air. Anthony Edwards.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Dapatkan keuntungan poin dan penawaran yang pas untuk apapun gaya hidup Anda. My Pertamina, semua jadi istimewa.
Well, welcome back to Jakarta as you get the game leaders for Iran, and an impressive performance again. He's just done a really good job, Mirazahi. 8-9 points. I know I always, sometimes it's unfair to say they do what they do, what it says on the tin, because it says he's an inside player, he's a little undersized, but he just performs that role for this team really well, and he's come into his own with Daddy not playing. He's had to be more of a scorer, he's had to do a little bit more, play a few more minutes. He's done a really nice job, and he's largely responsible, one of the main, largely responsible for an 8-point margin. Akobe has 13 points. I tell you what, it says a lot about when Batum has 3 assists, the top assists. He's not been in the game very long, and he's still trying to make everybody around him better.
Yeah, of course he is. You know, he's the captain. That's how he's always played, even on the teams that, you know, France has medaled at the last 3 major competitions, and, you know, Batum, he's played big minutes. He's more known as a defensive person who can kind of switch 1, 2, 3, 4 or defend the 1, 2, 3, 4 position. And then he gets his teammates going offensively. He'll shoot when he has to, but it's really when he has to. He's more trying to get people going. And, you know, in the few minutes that he has played here today, already 3 assists, but that's what you expect from him. I expect more from the other players. And I think that's what we're missing. And unfortunately for me, this is uninspired basketball that France is playing.
And I'd expect more from them to want to play with each other. You know, we've been really impressed with the way Latvia play, with the way Spain play. You got to say with the way that Lebanon came out today, earlier on, where they, you know, without their MVP from Asia Cup, everybody shared the basketball, wanted to be on, wanted to actually do whatever they're being asked to do. And there's so much talent on this French lineup. There's so much more talent in France that if they get to that point, they'll get back to being a silver medalist, being a bronze medalist, perhaps even winning, because some people thought they had a chance to win this whole thing. Really talked about as a genuine potential winner of the gold medal, winner of first place, winning the World Cup. And how great would that have been for them a year ahead of their own Olympic Games? Now they're in a bit of a, what do we do to fix a problem?
Yeah.
They're lucky they've got a very, very experienced coaching team. No one's going to panic. But in some ways, maybe they should. Maybe they should have a little, as Batum said, have a really hard look at themselves.
Yeah. I agree with you. This is, okay, yeah, you know what? They have a year out. That's a lot of time to prepare for an Olympics. And I'm sure it's going to start as soon as they get back to France. But at the same time, you know, these players are going to go off to their national teams. When are they going to get together next summer? Who are they going to play in preparation games? All of this is really, really interesting. And you don't want to start freaking out because it is a long ways away. But you're heading into a home Olympics, and you're playing basketball like this a year out?
Well, I mean, one of the options they have, obviously, is there's a qualification window in February, and now that there's no clash, only NBA players won't be available. So they've got 2 competition windows, potentially, plus whatever preparation, as you say. But this is an opportunity for the people who are wearing the vest at the moment to put a marker down to say, I want to play.
Yeah.
And Vincent Collet and his coaching staff in those conversations, I would assume, will be saying, well, Gershon Yabusele, we can use him in this area, we can use him in that low block, maybe we should use him a bit more in that block. You know, he's really shown us that, you know, he's a major player in that area of the floor. His defense is... Then you start asking about other people, and that's what coaches do. Coaches will be forming opinions. Obviously, there's a lot of experience. They're ahead of an Olympic Games. If Nicolas Batum is healthy, he's going to be on the roster.
Yes.
But when you start edging down the roster, there's not many people in that position where they're guaranteed to take the biggest honor you can, play for your country in a home Olympics. It's tough. It should be absolutely everything to anyone wanting to do that. But that's for next year. That's for the Olympic Games. This is the classification for the World Cup. And France will have possession of the basketball at the start of this third quarter. And we would expect and hope for a more dynamic start to this. And Francesco at the point, I assume, has been left in there to try and make that a more dynamic start. And they turn it over, first possession. Kazemi with the steal. Amini nowhere to go, has to back it out. Still plenty of time on the possession. Guran gets his feet set. He's blocked by Gobert coming off this and switching on the screen. Still 8 seconds though, because they pretty much had a 24 after the immediate steal. Yakshali goes all the way, drops it down. The short 2 is no good for Ali Akbari. And that is not, if you could pick anyone else on this roster, not that you want anyone to get injured, Yakshali is not the man you want to see struggling a minute in to this third quarter.
Even know what he really did.
I don't think it's a bad roll. I think he caught it, but you know, you feel it and it's tender. Yeah, that's how it feels. It took him a long time to come back in the pitch. He was running off, so it can't be crazily bad, but that's really, really going to hurt. Fournier complaining that they stopped the game. Yabusele will hand it off. Kobu, Yabusele, feet set from the three-point line. And if he is a good three-point shooter, full stop. Guran is on a blocking foul with Francesco. Francesco never really had the position to take the body contact. Guran Much more positive than at times he was in the first half. Actually went at the quick defender. Lots happened for 50-odd seconds. France have turned it over. Yakshali's got out the game. Francisco pulls a draw, commits the foul. Moretti gets it off. Feet set, wide open for three. Offensive rebound, Kazemi to the corner. Vahidi going baseline, puts a tough one up. Gobert just cleans it up. Francisco turns it over, poor pass. Look for Yabusele on the break, never really there. Amini to the corner. Guran will get it back to the top. Ali Akbari. Varidi not quick enough. Ali Akbari with a handoff, and they'll get it back with 4.7 remaining. Francisco says he didn't touch it. I don't think Cole is going to challenge it.
He could.
He definitely could. I'm not feeling the benefit compared to the risk of losing it, but Amini comes off the ball screen. Fournier denies him. Ali Akbari, he can't throw it over Gobrev, just about secure it. Gonna have to put up the really deep three. When it hits the ring and they get the offensive rebound. And there's another Iranian gone down. Yabusele inadvertently tripped him up as he fell.
Both of them are still on the court.
Wow, it's been an unfortunate start to this third quarter. Yakshali's already left the game. Kazemi, I think, he's going to hop out. I mean, just in case you're wondering, I mean, the staff don't want to come on, because if they come on, he has to leave the game, but I think it was pretty clear that he wasn't going to carry on. Yabusele seems to be okay. He's just toweling himself down.
I think it was, yeah, I think when...
It's a back court as well, just to rub salt into the injury.
Yeah. And Kazemi, I'm actually surprised there wasn't a foul called on it, because Kazemi, in my opinion, would have had control of the ball had Yabusele. It was an accident, but I think it should have been a foul call going against Yabusele, because Kazemi could have kind of come up with the ball.
Oh, they could have said something when the ball ends back with Iran, because inadvertent contact, if that call still exists. Yacobo turns the corner. Francisco attacks the closeout. Yabusele got to put it up from deep. Ball went over the top of Gobert, who had position. Guran gets it back in the corner. Quick release on the three is no good. And Fournier brings down, gives it to Gobert, who'd released and throws it down, just leaked out. Hakim Demir might need a timeout if it starts to get a bit up and down, just to refocus after the players leaving the game. He's lost two of his most experienced guys. Bear down the lane, kicks it, extra pass. Yabusele, having already made 1 3, drops it inside. Rudy Gobert back to the hoop. Ali Akbari tries to guard. He'll need some help. Yabusele, no time on the clock, goes to the hoop, throws it down. Barrels his way, throws it down hard. France have the 42-27 lead, and Iran will take the timeout, and I'm sure it's more about just regrouping a little bit after losing those two experienced players. Well, when Yabusele gets any momentum to the ring, it's only going to result in one thing. Super finish. Let's take a listen to this Iranian timeout.
If you miss, run back. Just run back. Let's go.
I mean, obviously with the game against Lebanon to come, potential Olympic qualifying tournament places will be at stake in that game. It could be in Iran's interest to, if there's any risk, leave those guys out, especially, well, both of those players are key to their potential aspirations of progressing to the Olympic qualifying tournament. Amini breaks the defense down, needs a pass, gets it back. Guarded by Yabusele. Amini going baseline, needs a pass, finds one, extra pass to the corner, they turn down. The three is no good. And Gobert comes down with a defensive rebound. Francisco will get the ball screen and kick. Yabusele will hand it off. Gobert with a foul line jump shot is no good. And Mizrahi in the game.
Well, hasn't been a great third quarter. A little bit better, obviously, for France if they're on a 7-0 run. I think losing Yabusele early in this third quarter has been, you know, it's been hard on Iran for sure.
There's a poor foul by Yabusele on that one. Was late and just stayed going through the contact. Mizrahi on the free throw line to get into double digits. Comes up short with the first. And they get the offensive rebound, the smallest man on the floor, in fact. Mashal Yeki chases it down. 80 going inside. Ball's turned over, Yabusele. And numbers, 3-on-1 break, going upstairs for the throwdown.
You know, I can give a lot of flack to a lot of these French players because I think they have, you know, since they lost that game against Latvia, some of them have been playing less aggressive, less inspired than they normally do. I cannot say that about Yabusele. Doesn't matter what game he's playing in, he is out there trying 100%.
Sina Vahidi gets the two, quick attack, gets the layup. Kobo. Yabusele goes inside. And while it's the sort of pass you'd see other teams make as well, I think Rudy Gobert was like, he's going to shoot this. I'm going to rebound it, he's going to shoot it.
So technical foul on Rudy, who just reacting.
And he continues openly to have the conversation with the official. And I think you said it yesterday, I've yet to see an official go, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry I've given you that technical foul.
I'll change my mind.
Let me change my mind on that one. Because one of the things of these the FIBA official is they're quite prepared to have the conversation and explain it. Francisco steals it, goes up, is fouled, he'll go to the free throw line. I mean, all the people going down and injuries, it's only a 14-point game. Iran are doing really well to hang in here. Francisco on the free throw line, has the two shots. One for two, Yabusele's on the glass. And that's well, let's just say it's a tough box out for Agameli. But it's a tough box, but that's the level he's at. That's what he's got to try and do. He's just got to get himself down low, box him out. If you don't do any of those things, you've got no hope about rebounding Yabusele. Francesco goes to the corner, Yabusele. Goes inside to Akobo, backs it out, 3 on the clock. This has got to go up. Iran trying to eat into the 15-point lead. Siaki gives it up, gets it back, gets a bit messy. That's going to be turning the ball over. Mustafa Fall checks in. Yabusele just and again another impressive performance. Comes off the down screen, looks to attack the middle, backs it out, looks to drop it inside. Mustafa Fall got to go to work here. Inside, outside Dekolo. Takes the tough 2, is no good. And guess who outworks everybody?
Garchon Yabusele doing it all for France. And, you know, yeah, he had a good season last year. Shot the ball well. I think he was a consistent player in Real Madrid, but you're really seeing what level that he can play at, maybe if he's given a little bit more opportunity.
Yeah, Charlie back in the game. Everybody in Iran will be pleased about that. We're pleased about that. Gets the easy 2 on the back cut. Back cut always available if this French team play high in the lane. Cognier gets his first time since he started. Dekolo turns the corner and kicks it wide open. Cognier for the 3 is no good. Mustafa Fall comes up with a rebound. Great work. Dekolo with a short 2 is good. And France need that other big man. Mustafa Fall had some dentist issues, I think, the other day.
Yeah.
Back out here today. Goes inside, over 4, doesn't get it. Ali Akbari comes up with the offensive rebound. Namini for 3 is no good. Yakshali on the glass, needs a pass, got to get out of there, and does. Shaki in the inside. Ali Akbari gets the 2.
I was worried about that dribble that he decided he needed to use to gather himself before he went up, because I thought with a, you know, Sylvain there, Fall, Cordinier, but no, Good job, nice patience.
Mustafa Fall gets it to the Colo, is long. Amini rebounds and goes. Going strong off the glass for 2. Took it straight at Mustafa Fall. Took away any space to block the shot. And those guys in Monaco will be, let's just say they'll be happy.
Yes. I think they will be very excited to see. He'll definitely have more of an opportunity, I imagine, also in practice to show what he is capable of doing and to see if he can continue. Because, you know, his role here would be different than even, you know, what he would possibly have in Monaco. And how do you take advantage if you do get an opportunity to play in some of the Pro A games if it's only limited minutes? Because obviously here with Iran, you know, he is a go-to player for them. It's easy, he knows he's gonna play, even if he makes a mistake, if he misses a few shots, he's gonna stay in the game.
But you gotta hope that because he's in their system, he'll know where he fits, he'll know what he can do. Batum, who's checked in for Yabusele. Nando Dekolo turns the corner. Inside. Mustafa Fall just about clears the mess up. Cornier, foul line jump shot is good. Asieki gets it into the half court. Amini. When France really extend their defense, that little weave is becoming closer to the halfway line. Amini gets a piece and collects the offensive rebound. Great effort. Siaki will turn down the ball screen, gets to the foul line and kicks. Yachali doesn't get it to drop. Mazai will get the offensive rebound. Tried to go the cute little bounce pass. We'll get a 14-second reset.
And a good job by Iran attacking the offensive glass. I would not have said going into this game that, you know, almost at the end of the third quarter, they would be out-rebounding offensively France. And France, 8 offensive rebounds compared to now 13 for Iran.
Shiki with a floater, doesn't get it to go. DeColo comes down with a defensive rebound and pushes. He has numbers down the floor.
But, you know, offensive rebounds, I think it's a part of being committed to getting that defensive stop and playing well defensively and finishing that defensive possession, and it finishes with a defensive rebound. And this is, you know, I don't want to harp on it, but this is where I feel like France are uninspired and they're just, you know, going through the motions right now.
Yeah, I would agree. DeColo. Tala is short with a 3. Great effort by Mustafa Fall. Hits the deck, now comes up with it again. It's either going to be a foul or a jump ball. I think they have to call a foul. Mustafa Fall hits the deck, gets a little punch from Nicolas Batum. Vincent Collet is up, clapping that. Can't have been easy for Mustafa Fall. You know, whether the teeth problem was a big deal before, but sitting there wanting to play more in those opening games.
Yeah. But these are the kind of little actions that I think, you know, even when it's a tough game and it's hard to get up for, they're right there. Fall didn't, you know, maybe not every France player would jump on the floor and dive on the floor, and, you know, great job by the big man. It's a long way for him to get down there.
And they just need the majority of whoever's on that with that
attitude,
uniform
yeah,
to be like that. Then everybody has to get it.
And you know, I'm not excusing it. I understand why it's happening, but it's disappointing to see.
Yes. Well, now the focus is next year. Their focus on this tournament is no more as such. Goes up with the jump hook. They're going to call it travel. Agomili. The intent was good. He just got caught a little bit shuffling those feet. 32 seconds remain in the third. And Nando DeColo will advance the basketball. Takes the ball screen, looks to turn the corner. Cornier with the 3 is no good. Great work on the glass. Tremendous effort by Yakuba Quatala. You know, an effort is contagious. Mustafa Fall falls, Yabusele's guy on the glass. Other people will have to pick that up.
Yeah.
I mean, no disrespect to Iran. We know that France don't want to be playing this game.
No.
But that's the game you've ended up. You put yourself here. And they've just got to have more examples of Mustafa Fall. Quatara on the glass, Yabusele. Batum. They need everybody with that mindset.
And you know, I don't think we're going to see Fournier play a lot. I can't imagine in this fourth quarter. I can't imagine us seeing Gobert again, to be honest. So this is the moment, you know, Batum, I'm not sure he'll play much in the fourth quarter. All right, put, you know, some of those younger guys out there and say, you know, I want to see 100% energy, because this is more about, you know, do you have the IQ moving forward for us to take you on a possible Olympic team?
Well, Iran couldn't make the last 2 of that third quarter. They trail 54-36. France comfortably in the lead, still with some questions to answer, but they lead this one 54-36.
Well, there you see the shooting percentages. France doing a much better job in the third quarter. They've moved it up to 64%. Not shooting the 3-ball particularly well, neither their free throws. There's 10 more minutes in this game. I'd love to see, you know, Iran just go out, push the tempo, take care of the ball, continued offensive rebound. It's the one thing that they did exceptionally well. Unfortunately, they weren't able to convert on their offensive rebounds. France, on the other hand, you know what? Put some of those young guys in. Go ahead, say, let's pick up full court for 10 minutes and see what we can do. And it's hard to play in a game like this. I understand that if you're France. You almost want to see them go out and have fun.
Yes.
And we haven't seen them have fun yet.
Yeah, you've used a quote that I've used a number of times with this team, like just maybe like loosen the lead a little bit. Give them a little bit of freedom to just run and play, because some of these guys may be better in that system. Who knows? But get something out of this game where you walk out of here going, yeah, okay, second half, we were better, we did this. Iran, they're going to stay with. It's a disappointment that, and I'm sure Haddadi thinks that way. He didn't have the opportunity to play against France. And given his normal contribution, we'd have probably been at a 10-point game minimum. And that's that tells you that Kazemi's not coming back.
No, we saw him get tied up with Yabusele and obviously twisted his ankle a little bit. Fortunately, we've seen a couple injuries in today's games.
Yeah, unfortunate. Gigoran. Charlie comes off the ball screen. Gigoran on the left for the three is way off. Gonna have to put this up though. Zahi again doing what he does around the ring, just had no angle to go back up. Nando De Colo will advance the basketball. Batum links down the lane, will get the two and go to the line. I think he was looking to dunk that.
I think he was looking to dunk it. I was almost gonna say, ooh, vintage Batum coming off that off-ball screen and just curling and going straight up. And you know, I thought Nicolas Batum, he did a great job in that win over Lebanon. Not necessarily statistically, but as a leader of this team. And he was able to do that because he played more minutes. He's been very limited as his minutes, and I'm sure that's, you know, Cole knew that going in. I'm sure Batum knew that going in. Listen, you're not going to play a whole lot today. Fournier, you're probably not going to play a lot. Gobert, you're probably not going to play a lot. But when you do, be ready and give his, you know, be that leader for us.
Yeah. Gigoran puts it on the floor. Is fouled on the penetration. You know, Gigoran is only 21 years old. Most of the game he's had to handle the ball. Nando De Colo, Francisco, he's had great guards guarding him. So for him, massive experience builder. Hill will inbound the basketball. Needs a pass, just about beats the 5 count. Charlie. Charlie gets his feet set for the 3 and drops it. And Charlie looks a high-level player. Does things really well, shoots the ball well. Really trying to Amini can be at the same level as him. There are some of the parts for this Iranian team that are good, as Mustafa Fall just gets deep, throws it down hard, nice pass.
Yeah, great pass by De Colo.
Gigoran tries to turn the corner, moves it on. Reza Farr, who's had a quiet night, has seen the floor a fair bit, but Gigoran with the deep 3 late in the clock. Zahi goes after it hard, gets called for the hooking foul.
Yeah, I think it was
somewhat of
an inadvertent elbow, but it hit Cordigne in the face, I believe. And it was right in front of the referee as well.
Vincent Collet is trying to make that point. He could challenge that if he wanted to upgrade it.
I do think, as the referees say, it was a basketball movement, though.
Yeah. I don't think he actually elbowed him. He just caught him with his elbow. Mustafa Fall can't put the tip back in, and Iran. Vahidi will advance it. That's a little bit outside Mirazahi's range. DeColo, 7.5 remain in the fourth. The ball will stay with France. Mazzari will check out. Agrajanpour will check in. It's a very, very young Iranian lineup on the floor right now. Nando DeColo makes a nice step back, gets his feet set. It's still very difficult to comprehend that France, for the first time since '86, are not in the...
And you know what, I looked it up. Not a single player had been born yet on this French team.
Not even Batum?
Nope. Actually, DeColo is older than Batum by a year. 87, to be exact.
So when they were conscious of basketball, France have always been...
Yes.
Not just in the latter rounds, but competing for medals.
Exactly. And you know, I mean, it goes all the way back. Excuse me. It goes all the way back to back in 2011. Okay, yeah, they didn't medal. Sorry, 2012. They finished in the quarterfinals, and then really after that, they sort of just figured it out. As far as going on their streak. They had medaled all before that, don't get me wrong. 2011 at Eurobasket, they finished second, but really, don't forget that 2013 Eurobasket, 2014 World Cup, where they finished third. They backed that up and back in 2019. You know, they have been one of the top teams at the major FIBA tournaments in the last good 10 years.
Yeah. Well, Vahidi steals it as France try to go full court, goes up strong, it just gets blocked. France going the other way. Tarpe, I'm not sure if he was shooting it or trying to throw up the alley-oop. Tara gets it, Mustafa Fall will hand it off. DeColo, feet set for the three, is no good. Godinier gets the offensive board and will recycle it, looks to go to work in the block. Nice pass. Nando DeColo never looks hurried, never looks rushed.
No.
Just gets it done. But Shali, both teams will get a rest day tomorrow, so.
Well, I mean, France had a rest day yesterday. Iran is the team that played against Spain, and they played well against Spain, actually. We haven't really talked about that much. They ended up losing to Spain. I know it ended up being 65-85 in favor of Spain, but they were playing with them still into throughout the third quarter. The fourth quarter, that Spanish team, who I think they're just going to wear teams down, and that's what we've seen. That's how we've seen Spain get their 3 wins, go 3-0 in the first part of this tournament so far.
Tara goes up and one after Amini made the 2 the other way. Gobert will throw it down. Well, comprehensive throwdown, 68-41. Turnover again. Katara gets an angle, gets the finish. Demir may have to just take a timeout, otherwise it could get very, very ugly for Iran, and they don't deserve an ugly finish to this game. Amini sees the double team, gets it off. Vahidi. Zahi looks nice cut. Quick release is good. Reza Far gets the 2 away. Demir will know he doesn't need a timeout unless it starts to get ugly. It's not as if he's going to call one unless he thinks that's the case. DeColo.
No, like you said, though, it's disappointing because this lead right now is not really indicative of how close it has been all game. France had that bigger, I don't want to say it was a great third quarter, but they outscored them by 10, and now in this fourth quarter, they are outscoring them by 11. Iran, they've just had trouble to score in this game, and we're seeing it especially here in the second half. I think France woke up a little bit. Took them 20 minutes to get excited to play. Also playing, some of the younger players, even though they're not young. I guess less experienced, less capped, less played. Players.
And I think Razafar thought he had blocked Gobert on that one. But he's going to go to the free throw line. Cute little pass by Nando DeColo. Rudy Gobert on the free throw line. Yabusele is going to check back in. 3:33 remain in the game. France looking to lead this by 30. Gobert makes the second. Rudy Gobert. And even for your Goberts, etc., there's so few opportunities for the national team to get on the floor. And all they'll have, apart from a couple of windows, is warm-up games, foul at the half court, which look fairly painful. Sieki. I think they're probably going to have a look at this. They should have a look at this. There was a lot of contact. Referees are going to have a review it themselves. Let's take a listen.
Possible upgrade from personal to unsportsmanlike foul. Normal play. Yeah. Okay. So who created the contact? Number 22. Number 22, yes. Okay. Is this a normal basketball moment? No. So after reviewing, we upgrade from personal to unsportsmanlike foul. Number 22. Met the criteria, yes. Met criteria for unsportsmanlike foul.
That was a pretty easy call by the referees, especially once we saw it on video. Was it on purpose? Absolutely not. Surprised Terry Tarpey didn't hurt himself, but it should be called an unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, it's very similar to the one in the first half the other way.
Yeah.
It looked quite bad. But the referees, again, use the technology. Shaki makes both from the free throw line. And fortunately, I don't think he was going to be that badly hurt because it was mostly the calf that seemed to come down on his head. That's going to be a front back. Again, Yabusele.
We can't say enough.
3:24 to go in the game. He's still in the passing lane because that's what you're supposed to do. DeColo stops and pops and drops the three. We all know that's what he's capable of.
Yeah, again, a quiet, probably disappointing tournament for Nando DeColo, playing just over 22 minutes a game, just under 6 points, has not shot the three well at all. He's at 30%, and he's a much better three-point shooter than that.
Yabusele at the front of the ring, just about secures it. DeColo lines up the three, got it. 2:30 to go. And France 31 to the good. Yabusele's out there playing still. Amini can't get the three to drop. Razafar gets the offensive rebound. Ashiyeki. Great work on the glass. You just can't say enough great things about Mirazahi. Razafar thinks about the three. Inside out, they're gonna have to take it now. Just about scrapes the front of the ring. DeColo will advance the basketball. Yabusele's wide open, doesn't get a look. Does now. Ball's knocked away. And Yabusele has it ripped away. Amini, Razafar. Drops it inside. Mahahi doesn't get it to go. And they're going to count that.
I think they're going to say it was goaltending, that it hit the backboard. Oh, yeah. I actually don't think he got a piece of it.
No, I think he hit the equipment. Safari with a double-digit points performance. Tape with the three is good. Well, if you're looking for players on this French roster that have impressed, he is definitely one of them. In the big games, he worked hard, made things happen with his defense, and if he's open, he'll make shots.
Rebounding.
Oh.
I mean, you know, he doesn't necessarily come up with a lot of offensive rebounds, but he gets a lot of tips and gives France possession. Someone else takes credit for a lot of work that Tarpe does, let's put it that way.
Zafar makes the three. Iran trying to keep this under 30. Gobert, well, he was out there practicing the three. That's why, obviously. Stepped out for the three, doesn't make it. Zafar again had the chance to take the three, floated for two. And he's ended the game really nicely. France, in a game they didn't really want to be playing in, get the job done, and Yabusele in particular really did impress. Sonkola knows where he'd rather be. He'd rather be playing tomorrow than today. Most importantly, he knows where he wants to be in 12 months' time. Final score, France have the 82-55 advantage over Iran. An Iranian team that got a lot out of that game. Youngsters in transition, should we say. But they come up short. 82-55, France get the win.
Well, it took France about 20 minutes to get into this game. And really it was more their bench players that got them going with some defensive stops, a little bit more speed and movement on offense. They got out and started to run. Again, I don't think you and I can say enough about Yabusele, as every time he is on the court, I don't think it matters what kind of a game, who they're going up against. He wants to play. You know what he is? He is a competitor.
Yeah, that's a great word.
Every action, he is competing to somehow win. So if it's defensively, it's to get a stop. If it's for the rebound, it's to go and get the rebound, offensively or defensively. He has been really, really exciting to watch, in my opinion. And you know, Iran, we didn't see a lot of offense. I think they really missed their big man, their captain, Ahmed Haddadi. You know, the one of the most famous basketball players ever to play in Iran, but also in general in the world. As you see there, the statistics, it wasn't pretty. It got a little bit nicer. Okobo, he had all those 13 points in the first half. Well, no one was majorly injured. I think that has to be a positive. We did see number 14, Kazami, go down, and he had ice on. It didn't look that bad on the replay, so I hope it's just a precautionary thing. You know, he'll be back. We don't need to take a risk. We have a more important game coming up against Lebanon on the 2nd of September, so everyone will have a day off tomorrow. France, yeah, there's a lot that we've talked about during this this game and this broadcast, and unfortunately, it's hard to say a lot of really, really good things about this French team just because I believe that they are playing under their talent level, and it's not anything against them, it's not anything against Collet. I just believe that they should be able to play better, and I know they don't know why this happened to them now, and obviously this is not what you want to happen. They mentioned it is like a nightmare that they are going through right now. You know, Nicolas Batum, this is his last World Cup. He is going to retire after the Olympics next year. This is not the way that he wants to finish what a glorious career he has had, I'm sure.
No, absolutely right. And we said it during the broadcast, no bigger incentive to play in the Olympic Games. And then on top of that, France get the incentive of playing at home. But they've got to be professional now. One more game in this competition to go. They got the win today. If they took the attitude of Batum and Yabusele forward, they would be fine. But both coaches shaking hands after a game. Hakim Demir is going to have a lot of positives to come out of this competition. He's still got a huge game, a regional game against another team from Asia that could have some implications for Olympic qualification tournament. So let's take a look at the standings in this classification group. There's the confirmation of France's win. They topped the group with a 2-2 record. Lebanon and Cote d'Ivoire with 1-3, and Iran with an 0-4 record. They want to put that right on the last day. But for now, from Shona and I, from Jakarta here in Indonesia, it's good night, and I hope you've enjoyed those two, and we'll see you tomorrow for Top 16 action.